Hello everyone, good morning. Myself Murali Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about what is Docker image. So here we have a DevOps 0 to Hero series, day 30. I already written the documentation as well. First we can see the theory part, then we can go with the practical as well so that you will get some idea. First of all, what is Docker image? Docker image is a lightweight, standalone and executable software package that includes everything used to run the application. So inside the Docker image, right, if you want to run any application, the particular everything inside the particular Docker image will be defined. Example like code, inside that code, runtime, libraries, if you have any environment variables and configuration files, everything will be there inside the Docker image to run that particular application. And think of Docker image as a blueprint or snapshot of container. And it contains the instructions for creating, running the Docker container. Remember guys, if you want to create the container, inside this, using the particular Docker image, we will be run the container as well. And coming to the key characteristics of the particular Docker images, right? One is immutable. Immutable means, example, I have created the Docker image. Okay, once you build the Docker image, it is a read-only. You can't change it. In case if you want to be do the modification, right? What you have to do? You need to build the new image again. Example, I have written the Docker file. I have mentioned inside the Docker file, I am copying that particular file, and then I build the Docker image. And then the image is created. Fine. Now, if you want to be modify the existing Docker image, we can't. Again, what you have to do? Whatever you want to be do the modification, and then you need to build the Docker image. It means this particular Docker image is the read-only only. It means once you create a right, we can't be change it. Unlayered. Each instruction, if you remember in the Docker file, we define that particular instructions one by one. Run, okay. We define that run, CMD, entry point, everything, right? Those we can call it as a new layer. Okay. Whatever each instruction on Docker file creates a new layer. Layers are stacked and cached for faster builds. Example, first time if you build, right? So it will be built from scratch, and then second time when you are trying to build, right, what will happen? It will be fetched from already, if it is already the catch the particular layer, right? It will fetch from that. It will show that it will show that catched one, and then the Docker image will be built quickly. If you remember, when you are written the Docker file during the time first time when you build, it is pulling the Docker image everything. When you are trying to do again Docker build, right, what will happen? It is taking from cache. Okay, valid Docker, the particular images layers will be there, right? From there it will be taken. Understand, right? And coming to the portable, we can move Docker images across systems environments without modification. Example, I have built the Docker image. The Docker image I built from Windows system. So same image I can move to CentOS, Red Hat, Ubuntu, Mac OS, everything, wherever. The particular Docker image same only. We don't require to do any modifications as well. And read-only, as I said, right? Docker containers run from read-only images. Whatever we have created the image, that is the read-only only. From there, we will be create the Docker container. Understand it? Any questions? So major, you have to understand what exactly Docker, what are the key characteristics of the particular Docker image. And then example, you can see that. Example, when you run the following command, Docker run using, if you want to create the container, -d detach mode, and then -p is the port number. This is the outside port number, colon, this is the inside port number, container port number, colon, after is the container port number, colon, before is the outside port number. And here I'm taking that Nginx. Nginx is the base image. I mean the particular image we are taking. From this image, we are running the particular container. Understand, right? Here again, I'm repeating here, Docker run -d detached -p port number, colon, before is the, we are exposing to outside, that is 8080, colon, before, colon, after, right? This is the container port number. This is the image Nginx we are using. Nginx means it will take the default Nginx latest version, latest tag. Understand, right? Example, what are the things available inside the Docker image? One is base operating system. Example, either anything, that is Debian, Alpine, whatever. Okay. And next one is Nginx web server binaries, whatever pre-compiled one, it will be there inside this particular Nginx. And also default Nginx configuration files also will be there. That is etc nginx, nginx.config, and etc nginx config.d, default.config, everything will be there inside the particular Docker image, default one. Okay. And default HTML content also will be there. that is user share nginx slash HTML. Inside that, we'll be having that index.xml. That will be the default one. But in case if you copy from that particular specific one, right, it will be there. Example, you have in your local, we have an index.html. You are copying that to the user share nginx HTML. Understand, right? And also startup CMD also will be there. That is CMD nginx -j daemon of to keep a container running. This one also will be there inside this particular nginx Docker image. Understand, right? And here you have to remember where are Docker images stored. There are two things, guys. One is when you do that Docker pull, that image is available in your local. That will be stored in the Docker. That is available in the under Docker storage. And also you can use Docker images command. Using this particular Docker images command, it will be display what are the images available. Second thing is, right, we'll be having that Docker registries, that is Docker Hub and EC. Understand, right? One is locally and second one is remotely. That is either Docker Hub or AWS ECR. Depends on organization to organization. Will be use either Docker Hub and ECR. Especially most of the organizations are using AWS ECR. If they are using cloud is AWS. Understand, right? Now you clear, right, what exactly Docker Hub, Docker image, everything, right? Now later we will be see that what are the Docker images available, so that you will get some idea. Any questions now? Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about Docker image commands part 1. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here I already written the documentation with examples. We can see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, I already created one server. I have mentioned like Docker server. This is Amazon Linux 2 server. And here I already connected this one. In this particular server, we already installed the Docker as well. So now what you have to do, we are discussing Docker image commands. So before going to do, first we need to check what are the commands available. For that one, you can go here, Docker image. Now we can enter, it will give the sub commands. If you see here we have almost 10 to 12 sub commands available. One is build, history, import, inspect, load, ls, prune, pull, push, rm, save, tag. There are multiple commands available. We can see one by one so that you will get some idea. So in this particular part 1, I'm going to cover these commands. Before going to cover, I'm saying here import and load we won't be use it. So I'm not covering these two as well. In real time also, we won't be use those two sub commands. Fine, right? Now, first of all, build command. We already saw that when we were discussing Docker for, right, during that time we use Docker build command, right? Again, I'm going to showcase now what is the uses of Docker build command. If you want to build the Docker image from Docker file, we'll be use the Docker build command. Here, I already created one Docker file. If you see here we have a Docker file and also index.html. First, I'm going to the index.html here. Here I have mentioned that index.html related one, HTML header and body, everything. And also here you can see the Docker file. Okay. Here we can see the Docker file. Here I have choose that nginx, that is alpha in one. And currently first I'm removing that particular default nginx static assets here. Run command using run instruction, rm-rf. This is the default path, guys. Remember one thing, when you use the base image is nginx, that is the default path is user share nginx /html. Understand, right? Here, first we are removing this one and then we are using copy instruction. Whatever we have index.html currently, right? That particular index.html, we are copy to, that is user share nginx /html. Clear, right? And we are exposing the port number is 8080. If you see here, we are exposing the port number is 808. Sorry, not 8080, 80. Okay, clear, right? We are exposing the port number is 80. Default nginx also 80 only. In case if you want to be change the port number also, we can change it as well. Clear, right? This part is clear, right? We already discussed in that writing the Docker file. Again, I'm going to show you Docker build related one. Okay. Now, if you go here, first what I'm doing here, Docker build dot means current directory. We have a Docker file, right? -t, and then here I'm giving the example nginx colon. What is the tag name? Tag name I'm giving the 24. Example, I'm giving the tag name is 24. Now we can enter. If you see here, what is happening? First it is, if you see here, first it will be clone that particular nginx one, and then it will be run the particular one, whatever we are going to be delete that. And third one is, it is copying that particular index.html to that particular user share nginx HTML. Understand, right? Now it is created the image. Now it is created image. What is the image name? That is nginx:24. Clear, right? Any questions? Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm going to do again. Let's see. If you see here, Docker build, again, I'm doing here. If you see here, this time, it is everything's taking from cache only. If you see here, it is cached. It is cached. As I said earlier, in the, what is the Docker image, during that time I said, right, when you are writing any Docker file, inside the Docker file, if you written any layer, right, the particular layer will be cached to fast Docker build. Okay, build the image. For that purpose, right, it will be already catch the particular one under user. 1 second. So when you are doing the first time, right, it will be built, but second time onwards, it will take from catched one. Where exactly this catched one is available? That is available in the var lib docker. Go here, var lib docker. Here we have images. If you see here, we have image. Go to the image, and then here you can give the ll command, overlay to, and give the ll command, and here you layer id, layer db. Let's see, star code, ll command. If you see here, we can see that the particular layers as well. Understand, right? Under this particular var lib docker, under var lib docker, it will be there. When you are doing second time, right, it will be taking from catched one only, because there is no any changes, right? That's why quickly it will be build the Docker image. That's why it will be taking from catched one. If you do any changes, again it will be build a new one. If you don't have any changes, it will be taking from catched one only. Understand, right? Again, I'm repeating here. If you see here, run this command again. Docker build.t. If you see here, everything's catched one only. Okay, clear, right? Now you can go, now image is created. How do we check it? For that one, you can give it here, Docker images. If you give the Docker images, right, it will be display that images information. What are the images available in your local? If you see here, this is the repository name, that is the nginx, and tag name. If you remember, when you are built during that time, we gave nginx colon, the 24, right? 24 is the tag name. Tag name, we mentioned that 24. And here you have to remember, image ID is unique ID. When you are build image, right, during that time, it will be create the new image ID. And if you made any changes in the Docker file, and again, if you build the Docker image, right, again, the particular image ID will be keep on change. That is the unique ID. Understand, right? And then here you can see that when it was created 3 minutes back, and what is the size of the particular nginx is 48.2 MB. 48.2 MB. Clear, right? Any questions? Now you clear, right, about this particular Docker image? Fine. Now here we use that Docker space images. It is displaying the images as well, everything. Now here we have ls command as well. Ls command, it will be display the list of images. How do we do? For that one, you can do Docker image ls. Remember, Docker images or Docker image ls, both are same only. You can either use Docker space images, it will be display the Docker images, whatever is available in your local, or you can use Docker image ls command. Now you can enter. If you see here, it is giving the same info only. Either you can use Docker images or Docker images ls, whatever your wish. You can give any command. It will display the what are the images available in your local. Usually recommended way is Docker images. It is single command, so that you can easy to see that what are the images available, instead of you giving the Docker space image space ls command. Clear, right? Any questions now? Any questions? This part also clear, right? Now what is the next one? Docker pull command. If you want to pull the Docker image from Docker Hub, AWS CCR, what you can do, right? We can use Docker pull command. Example, what I'm going to do here, Docker pull Tomcat. See, if you see here, Docker pull Tomcat, I'm not giving any tag. Now what will happen, right? It will be pull the Tomcat, that is a latest Tomcat, latest tag, it will be pull it. If you see here, Docker pull Tomcat, now we can enter. Now what is happening, right? It is pulling the Docker image from Docker Hub only. Here you have to remember one thing, guys. Usually Docker pull command, you give the specific command, that is Tomcat. Now it will be checking your local. If it is not available, what will happen, right? It will be go from Docker Hub. It will be go from Docker Hub because if you see here I'm not giving anything, just I'm giving the Tomcat. So it is pulling from Docker Hub only. In case if you want to pull the Docker image from AWS ECR, then what you have to do, right? You have to give the AWS ECR related repository URL. Then it will be pulled from AWS ECR. By default, it will be pulled from Docker Hub only. Now, if you see here, it is pulling from the particular library / Tomcat. It is pulling from the particular Docker Hub only. Here also you can see that docker.io / library Tomcat. That tag is latest tag. Understand, right? Now here you can check it. Docker images. If you give the Docker images, right, it will be display the particular Docker images. That is repository name, the tag name, what is the image ID, when it was build the particular image, what is the size of the particular image. Everything is displaying here. Understand, right? If you are not giving any tag, default it will be pull the Docker image that is related to latest tag only. In case if you want to be pull the specific tag, what you have to do, you need to give the tag name. Example, here you can go Docker pull. PUL. Pull means it will be download, guys. Okay. Docker pull. And here I'm giving the Tomcat :7. It means now what will happen? It will be clone the Tomcat 7 tag. Now if you see here, it is pulling the image from Docker Hub, that is Tomcat 7 only. Understand, right? Now we can wait for a few seconds so that we can check it whether the particular tag value 7 is pulled or not. If you're not mentioning any tag here, again I'm repeating, colon after if you are not mentioning anything, colon the specific number if you are not mentioning, not only number, anything, default it will be pull the latest tag. But here we mentioned that 7. Now if you see here docker.io from Docker Hub, it is taking library Tomcat 7. Okay, now you can give it here Docker images. When you give the Docker images, here you can see that latest the particular 7 tag is pull the particular image from Docker Hub when it was built the particular 7 tag, that is 3 years ago. Clear, right? What is the size of the particular one? 533 MB only. Clear? Any questions now? Clear? Any questions now? Fine. Now what is the next one? Pull also is completed. Now what is the next one? History. If you want to be check the history of your image, then what you can do, right? We can use the history command. If example, I want to see the history of this particular Nginx one. How do we do? For that one here, you can give it Docker space image space history. You can give it, or directly you can give it Docker history as well. Docker space image space history, or you can give directly Docker history as well. And then here you need to give the image ID. Now you can copy this particular image ID. Now we can paste here. Now what will happen, right? This particular image, specific image history, it will be displayed. Okay, what are the layers we have written, everything it will be displayed. Now we can enter here. If you see here, what are the layers we have created? If you see here, one is a copy instruction they used because we took that particular Docker official image, right? During they build the particular Docker image during that time. The whatever which one we sorry guys, this one we built, right? This one we built along with this particular one, right? We took the base image related one until here. If you see here, whatever we are seeing here, the particular layers are base images layers. And also later we added, right? One is we added this particular run this particular RM command. Second one is we copy the particular one and we expose, right? Those things also we are able to see it here. Sometimes, right? Your team member may ask question, Murali, we build the Docker image. We wanted to see that what are the layers, what are the instructions we have written. We wanted to check it. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible using Docker history command. When you use the Docker history and give the image ID, what will happen, right? It will be display all the instructions, whatever instructions we have used, right? Everything it will be displayed. You see here, these are the instructions. RM commands, copy we use, and also expose also we use it extra. You may ask question how it came this one, because we use the base image Nginx, right? That's why base images also we do when they were build that particular base image, during that time they use this particular layers. So layers, or we can call it instructions. Okay, copy instruction, expose, and also CMD, env, whatever. Clear, right? Any questions this one history command? If you want to be see the history of your image, we can use the docker image space history or docker space history command. Anything is fine. Clear? Any questions now? Fine. What is the next one? Inspect command. If you want to be see the information about your docker image, remember history command, it will be display the history of your image, but inspect command, it will be display the in detail information about your image. Okay. Now how can we do? For that one, first you can go here. Now you can give it a docker images. Now here I'm giving that docker inspect. Docker inspect, and here you can give the image ID. Just copy this particular image ID. You can paste here. Now you can see it here. If you go little bit up, and here everything it is there. If you see here ID, report tag, what is the tag we mentioned that? Okay. What is the commit ID, when it was created, what is the container, whether using this particular image, do you have any containers, what is the container configuration, host name, domain name, everything it will be displayed. What is the Docker version related one, here you can see that, and also CMD image architecture related one. Okay, what is the graph driver, and also layers, what are the layers is available. If you see here, these are the layers available in this particular Docker image. Okay, and also here you can see the metadata, last tag, when it was done, everything can able to see it here. Any questions now? If you want to be see the information about your Docker image, we can use docker inspect command. If you want to be see the history of your image, you can use docker history command. If you want to be pull the Docker image, you can use docker pull command. If you want to check what are the Docker images available in your local, we can use docker images or docker space image space ls command. And if you want to be build the Docker image, we can use docker build command. We can build the Docker image from Docker file. Remember, this is the one of the most important. In frequently we always use the docker build command, because in real time we always write the Docker file for microservices, monolithic application, whatever. If you want to be running as a container, right? First you need to be build the Docker image. For that one, we always write the Docker file, and then we'll build the Docker image. Now you clear, right? What is the purpose of this particular sub commands? Okay, these are the Docker image commands part 1. We'll be discuss part 2 as well, so that we'll get some idea. Whatever I have explained so far, right? Those are frequently we'll be use it in real time, and also interview level also they will be they may ask the questions related. This is Docker pull, Docker inspect history, Docker build command, okay, Docker ls command, everything. Any questions now? We are going to discussing about Docker image commands part 2. Earlier we saw the part 1, right? Now we can see the part 2. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So that particular commands also I updated in the DevOps 0 to Hero series 30 days, day 30. And here I already updated the documentation. We are seeing that demo as well. Okay. For that one, here we have a Docker server. Now you can see that what are the commands we are going to be discussing in this particular Docker image commands part 2. So first of all, save command. What is the usage of save command? Example, we have a Docker image. If you want to be save that particular image as a tar file, what you can do, we can use Docker save command. Understand that? If you want to be save as a tar file. Now you can see that so that you will get some idea. Here, Docker images. Now what I'm going to do, whatever we have in Nginx one, right? I'm going to create the tar file. For that one, you can go here, Docker image save, and then here I'm giving that -o option. Here example I'm giving here. What is the tar file name? mmready.tar file. Example I'm giving, guys. And then here you can give that image ID. Now you can enter here. Now if you see here, what is happening, right? Whatever image here, right? It is created the tar file. If you see here, give the ll command, and here you can see that mm.tar file is created. Depends on Docker image, it may take little bit time to create the tar file. Now it is created, right? Again, I'm repeating, Docker image save command -o option mmready.tar. We are creating the tar file from this particular whatever Docker image. Understand, right? Now you can go here. I need to check it, right? tar-tvf. If you use the -tvf, right, it won't be extracted. Just we can see that what are the things is available inside the tar file. mmready.tar. Now you can enter here. Here you can see that whatever inside the particular image, everything you can able to see it here. Clear, right? What is the usage of tar command? But in the reality, right, we won't be use it in real time, but just for awareness purpose, you should be aware of this one. Clear, right? Any questions? Fine. What is the next command? Tag command. If you want to be rename the Docker image, what you can do, you can use a Docker tag command. Using Docker tag command, we can rename the Docker image. Example, if you go here, Docker images. If you see here we have a Nginx Tomcat. And example, Nginx, we mentioned that Nginx, the particular tag name is 24. But now I need to change, instead of 24, I need to change other tag. Or if you want to be change the repository name, different one. How do we do? For that one, we can use the Docker tag command. You can give Docker tag or Docker image tag, anything's fine. And here what you have to do, first we need to be give the Docker image. Example, I'm giving here Docker tag, and here I'm giving that image name or image ID, then space. Here we need to give the tag name. What is the tag name I'm giving? Here I'm giving that Nginx colon 250. Example, guys, I'm giving that instead of 24 the tag name, I wanted to rename it. For that one, I'm giving here colon 2580. Now we can enter here. Now what will happen, right? Whatever we have a tag name, right? It will be renamed to this particular Nginx colon 2580. Now we can give it to Docker images. If you see here, when you use the Docker images, right? Here we can see that Docker Nginx 250, it is created. But here you have to remember, when you use the Docker tag command, it will be tag the particular new name. Okay? Understand, right? But the thing is, it will create the tag name. But the thing is, still older one also it will be exist. Older one also it will be exist. And also here you have to remember one thing. When you use the Docker tag command, older one and newer one, the image ID same only. If you see here, older one and newer one, image ID same only. Understand, right? Any questions now? If you see here, 1 second. Again, I'm repeating, older repository tag name and newer one, the image ID same only. When you use the Docker tag command, it won't be delete older one. Older one will be there, and also from the older one, it will be create the new tag. Understand, right? Now, in case if you want to be delete the older tag, what you have to do? You have to remove that older image. That is Nginx, the particular tag. We need to be delete. Usually, what we can do, we can use Docker RMI command. RMI is nothing but remove image. RMI is nothing but remove image. If you want to be remove the Docker image, what you can do, you can use the Docker RMI command. Usually, here you can see that both images are same only. Image IDs are same only. Only difference is the particular repository and the tag name is different. Understand, right? Now, what you have to do, in case if you are trying to delete using image ID, now if you see here, it is showcasing that image is referencing multiple repositories. Okay, this particular image, right? This particular image ID, it is referring to multiple tags, right? That's why it is throwing the error. Then what you have to do? How do we delete this particular older repository, the particular tag? Then what you have to do? We can use, instead of giving the image ID, what you can do? You can give it Docker RMI Nginx. That is the repository name colon. The tag name you have to give it. Again, I'm repeating. If you want to be delete older one, what you can do? You can use Docker RMI Nginx colon, the particular tag name you have to give it instead of image ID. Clear, right? Now you can enter now. If you see here, it is untagged. Untagged means it is deleted. Now if you go and check it here, Docker images, here you can see that the particular one, whatever we have we were having that particular Nginx 24, right? That one is deleted after we use Docker RMI command. Understand, right? Any questions this one? Docker RMI clear, right? And also how do we tag the particular one? Example, if you are trying to push from Docker image from local to remote repository, right? That is either Docker Hub or AWS ECR. The particular Docker Hub or AWS ECR repository name should be matched to your local. That's why what we can do, we'll use the Docker tag command to rename the particular one, create the tag from the existing the particular repository and tag name. Understand that? I will also show you when you are trying to push the image from local to Docker Hub or AWS ECR. I will show you how do we tag again, so that you will get more idea. Clear, right? Any questions now? Fine. What is the next one? If you go here, RMI also is completed, tag also completed, save also completed. What is the next command? Prune command. Prune command is nothing but if you want to be remove unused images, what you can do, we can use the prune command. If you want to be delete the unused images. If you go here, Docker images. If you see here, currently we have a Tomcat, Tomcat 7, and also Nginx. Nginx we were created. Okay, we created, it means we customized this particular Nginx one. But when it comes to the Tomcat, right, those are default inbuilt one, right? It means like I directly pull the Docker image from Docker Hub. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Docker. I'm going to use Docker prune, and then Docker image prune or Docker prune, whatever. Example, Docker image prune or Docker image. Now you can enter. Here it is ask yes or no option. If you give the Y, right? What is happening, right? If you see here, here it is showcasing that total reclaim is spaces 0. It means it is not, what you can say, it is not deleting anything. It is not deleting anything. Understand, right? It is not deleting anything. If you have any unused images, it will be deleted from there. If you have any unused images, right, what will happen? It will be delete the unused images from the particular one. Usually, right, this particular Docker prune command we always use when you are integrate with, when you are deploying the application Kubernetes, right? The particular Docker images will be place it in the worker nodes. So what you can do, right? If you are not deleting the worker nodes, if still the particular worker nodes are keep on running, right? If you are not deleting, not deleting means if you are not doing any patching other things, still the Docker images will be same only. The particular, what you can say, the servers, worker nodes are same only. Then what will happen, right? When you're trying to deploy multiple same application, multiple versions, what is happening? The particular images will be placed in the worker node. So the particular size will be increased. You will get that out of disk issue will be getted. That's why what you can do, we will be do that automation to delete the unused images. For that one, we will be use Docker image prune command. Using this particular Docker image prune command, we will be run it every midnight or every 1 week, every 2 weeks to run the particular inside the worker nodes. So that what will happen, right? Whatever unused images, it will be deleted from the particular worker node server. So worker nodes is nothing but EC2 servers only. Clear, right? Any questions now? This is one of the most important when you are doing the automation. If you want to be delete unused images, will be use this particular Docker prune command or Docker image prune command. Clear, right? Any questions now? So these are the commands in the commands part 2. Again, I'm just repeating. Save command. If you want to be create the tar file from the particular Docker image, we'll be use the Docker image save command. And the tag command, if you want to be create the new tag from existing one, referring from existing source image, then what you can do, we can use this particular tag command. And the next one is RMA command. If you want to be remove that one or more images, we can use Docker images, Docker image RM command or Docker RMA command. RMA is nothing but remove image. Okay, one or more images. Next one is prune command. If you want to be delete unused images, will be use it. Currently, we don't have any unused image. That's why it is not deleted. Again, I am repeating. Usually in real time, we will be do the automation to delete the unused images from worker nodes. Example, I'm telling worker nodes in the EKS cluster. Clear, right? Any questions? Any questions now? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram. And also we have a Tech World with Murali website. In this website, I already publish all the DevOps related courses, DevOps, AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, networking, DevOps projects, Helm. Here we have a 1 month, 6 months, 1 year plans available. If you want, you can enroll here. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.